Hope I'm coming through loud and clear. Shalawam, shalawam. Hope I'm coming through loud and clear. All right, first and foremost, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerely taught us his truth. And shalom to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yeramiah Kazak, back with another edifying lesson, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. All right, this one will be short, sweet, straight to the point. All right, about the Genius Act, which was just passed about 7 hours ago. Okay, they had a late vote on Wednesday to really apply some pressure, and then it cemented today. So that's how Congress work, man. All right, late at night they trying to move some things and shake it up. So we're gonna go into it real quick because this is a major bill that has been passed. All right, if your brothers is on it, it's major to support the beast system, to support the digital currency. So I'm reading an article here on Forbes, and right here on the Forbes, and it reads, House passes stablecoin Genius Act. Here's what to know, right? The House approved legislation to regulate stablecoins Thursday and later approved 2 other crypto bills after conservatives blocked the legislative package for a record 9 hours Wednesday, defying President Donald Trump's demands for what Republicans have dubbed Crypto Week. So they're really trying to move into this digital aspect of commerce, right? And that's all aligned in the Revelations 13 chapter, 16th verse going downward. The House passed the stablecoin bill known as the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, the Genius Act, in a 308 versus 222 vote, sending it to Trump's desk for a signature. And of course he's going to sign it because he's with it. He's pushing it. He wants it to pass, right? The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025 then passed in a 294 to 134 vote, and the Anti-Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC, Act passed 219 to 210. So it's very close, okay? There's a lot of tension in the so-called White House and Congress and the House of Representatives and the Senate, right? Now, keeping it going, the House approved the rules for debate for the 3 bills late Wednesday, clearing a procedural hurdle to tee them up for final votes Thursday after the initial rules votes failed amid a conservative revolt. All right, because the Democrats don't want this thing to pass. All right, at the end of the day. Now, keeping it going, the Anti-Central Bank Digital Currency Act, the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025, and the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Genius Act, those are the 3 bills. Those are all the 3 bills that are being passed. The legislation established a regulatory framework for stablecoins. So what's going on? It's establishing a framework for this digital system to be enacted. So you're slowly going to see gradualism, which it ain't really going to be too slow because the devil coming down with great wrath. He know he got but a short time. You're going to see money, physical money, to being destroyed, physical money being took away, no longer printed, and everything moving to the stable coin, right? Everything moving to cryptocurrency, everything moving to a digital landscape, all right, to say. So the legislation establishes a regulatory framework for stablecoins, a type of cryptocurrency often tethered to the value of the US dollar or another asset, which makes them a more secure investment than other cryptocurrencies. The act would establish guidelines for banks and other entities that issue stablecoins and safeguard for stablecoin holders. Now, really, you need to look at it like, you're seeing the government push a cryptocurrency coin. You're seeing the government push a digital framework to establish something to be used for long-term use, where the American dollar is drastically is at a high rate falling and being destroyed, being took out the way, right? So this is what the American government wants to put as a substitution, wants to put in its place. And what did it say? It's more secure, it's better for investments, and it can also be monitored better, right? We understand what's going on, okay? This will go right along with your CHIP, right along with your Neuralink. This will go right along with Amazon One stores, Whole Food stores, all right? This will go right along with those type of things at the end of the day. Now, keeping it going, what is the Anti-CBDC Act? It would prohibit, I'm gonna get these bug outs out of here real quick, man. All right. Out of here. All right. It would prohibit the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency, which critics say could facilitate financial monitoring and surveillance by the federal government. House leadership agreed to attach the bill to the National Defense Authorization Act, must pass legislation that funds the Defense Department to meet the demands of conservative holdouts who wanted all three bills combined. Okay? So taking away the Federal Reserve, basically at the end of the day, let's read it again. It would prohibit the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency, which critics say could facilitate financial monitoring and surveillance by the federal government. Because at the end of the day, this thing is going to be higher than that. All right? It's all going to be set up for central banking. All right? At the end of the day, it's all going to be set up for the banking families, what's being established behind the scenes, all to take, to play a part, right? Keeping it going, it would divide regulatory jurisdiction for digital assets between the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission. The bill would establish definitions of three types of digital assets: securities, commodities, and stablecoins, and assign regulatory duties to each agency. Right? And I ain't too much keen on all of that, but understanding that this is more so setting up a digital framework, and it's more so setting up a digital currency that the U.S. government is about to push, and knowing that the the U.S. dollar, that fiat dollar, that fiat currency is going down the drain. All right, it's losing its power, so they're going to transition into this type of currency. So everybody's going to be using these type of stable coins, right? Cryptocurrency, right? And cryptocurrency was really, it was actually a good thing. Well, it was on the black market because it couldn't be traced, right? But the government got their hands on it, shut it down basically, and took it and used it to their advantage. How they do everything that Jake comes out with, okay? At the end of the day. So let me get I'm gonna get one scripture, man, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Like I said, it's gonna be short, sweet, to the point. All right, the Genius Act is, I've been waiting on it to get passed, and they finally passed it. I just checked my phone today, and I was like, okay, that's it. Right, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, a mark, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, what is this mark gonna be aligned with? It's gonna be aligned with digital currency, buying and selling, as it reads right here. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. So the way that you're going to purchase, the way that you're going to move about in society, the way that I'm about to go to Walmart, right? The way that you're even going to enter stores, you're going to need to have a CHIP in your hand, right? Or a Neuralink, so you can scan to enter a building. All right, so pay your bills, whatever it is, right? Go to work, right? The last 2 jobs I had, you had to scan a security card to get in the facilities, and I could easily see how that system could be easily moved over to scanning a CHIP. right? Because all you had to do was scan the card, which the card has a C-hip in it. It has a micro C-hip in it. Just same thing as your credit card has a micro C-hip in it. Your phone has a micro C-hip in it, right? So they're just gonna take what they have already established and just place it in your hand and say it's more convenient for you to use, you know. And majority of Americans is talking about, I'm not gonna take that, I'm not gonna be with it. Watch what's gonna happen though. You're gonna crack and you're gonna fold because you're not built up through the spirit to move and resist the devil. You're gonna fall to the wiles of the devil. They're gonna be on you, pressuring you. You're gonna be like, I can't feed my family. I gotta, you know, they saying it's against the law not to get it, right? What did a lot of you individuals do when the jabby jab came out? You needed it to go to work, which really, the government can't really do that to you, right? But they forced it on you. They fear-mongered our people, and you took it, right? That's what we saw. Now, it's bringing what? Detrimental effects to your health. They tainted your body, your immune system, your blood, right? At the end of the day, that's what you're seeing take place. It's because your faith was tested and you failed, right? Now you have to bounce back from that, man, and trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi at the end of the day and move on, right, with a newfound faith, being built up spiritually to make it where you won't take that C-hip. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding, it's talking about the elect, the hopeful elect, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, what is this individual saying? They will just scan you with the AI facial recognition stuff. You won't have a choice. Okay, but they're doing that right now. Like you're doing that with your phone, etc., etc. Okay, the understanding that the C-hip is going to have a choice. It's not going to be, in the sense, forced on you, right? You're going to have to willingly take it or reject it. If you reject it, what's going to be the option? Jail or unalive it. That's going to be the option. If you take it, then you're going to be able to live in the society for a time being. Okay, it's not AI facial recognition. That's not the MARKB. Now that's actually a part of the digital beast system. Yes, indeed. But the C-hip is the main asset. Okay, and also the images, carrying on the image of the beast, meaning his likeness, his ways. You're worshiping his pagan holidays. You're carrying on eating pork, lobster, crab, shrimp, shellfish, etc., etc. That's his image. So those things go hand in hand, right? So keep that in mind. All right, AI facial recognition, man, that happens every time you get on the damn bus. When you got that blue light, right? They scanning you. You know, that has been long been exposed. All right, they're constantly, look, in this city that I'm in, when I leave this city, go to LA, they have on the freeway where they scan you. They can scan your entire face, everybody in the car, right? If you ever get on fast track on the up in the Bay Area, they scan you. They can scan you. They scan you. They scan your car, everything. So that AI, that facial recognition system, that's already in place. Okay, so understand that it's going to be a C-hip system, something that's going to be inserted, a charagma. All right, it's going to be inserted. That's going to be the main, you know, what you should not take. We can't fight against being scanned. A drone could scan me right now. Do I got the, does that sin? You know, is that, am I going off? No, that's just the system, you know? So hey, with that being said, man, the Genius Act, look into that, read into that. I suggest brothers read into that, look into the Genius Act, all right? And, you know, keep yourself alert on all this cryptocurrency stuff that's going on, and it's tying into the beast system. All right, so with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors again to the elders, bishops, and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men. As always, Kwam Yasharahla and Abba Bar to this wicked kingdom. May Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi destroy this bitch soon, man. Shalawam.